Hello, Patriots. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone for all of the support that we've gotten over the last week since I put out my last video. It was pretty moving to know that we're not alone. You know, every once in a while, if you listen to or read the media, they make you think you're crazy as you watch the riots and the destruction, everything going around this country, and they call it peaceful protesting, or they make you feel like nothing's going on and you're a crazy person for being upset about what you see happening. We were also blown away at how many people stepped up. We had military, law enforcement, intel community vets stepped up and volunteered and sent in their information and pledged not only some very patriotic messages, but also their support to help us protect other Americans who just want to stand up and not be afraid and be able to speak their mind and talk about who they support politically or how they feel religiously or just how they feel, as we're allowed to do as Americans. We're also pretty amazed at how many civilians stepped up, volunteering their time, donations, and also prayers, which, thank you, from the bottom of my heart, that means, I think, a lot more than many of you know. I firmly believe that we are in a spiritual war for the soul of our country. Prayers do much more, I believe, than most people understand. Funny enough, we received so many volunteers that it was actually pretty overwhelming. Thankfully, one patriot who lost her job in the pandemic stepped up and she offered her help. And she's going to help us streamline and run some of the admin because it put me pretty far behind over the last week, which is a good thing. It was just a little rough trying to work through all the emails and everybody that sent their stuff in. But by having her there and by having this system that we're building, thankfully now we can focus on what we're supposed to be doing, which are missions. So now we've met our needed numbers in terms of man and woman power. We have men and women that have both stepped forward and we're going to be using on our missions. And thankfully, we got a lot of people. So now it's time for us to focus on other numbers, which is funding our missions. Walkaway is going to be providing some of the necessary stuff that we need for this DC event. But there's other stuff that we're going to need that's pretty pricey, both for this event and for future events. The type of gear that we're looking at, it doesn't come cheap. But believe me, when you see video of this event and the stuff that we'll be capturing for you and for law enforcement, you'll think it was money well spent. Well spent. We know that our enemy is well-funded and well-equipped. Antifa and BLM, they would like you to think that they are just ragtag groups of entitled children. They are not. They would like you to think they're disorganized. They are not. The media wants you to think it's just kids coming out of their basement. They are not. They are receiving funding and training and directions from highly advanced adversaries. Now, we have a wealth of experience between our local and federal law enforcement, our military, and our intelligence veterans, and each of us is determined to once again step up and protect our nation. But in order to protect our volunteers, we've studied the tactics used by the Marxist subversives, and we've found some gear and technology that we think can help us counteract what they do to us and help forecast their moves before they actually make them. Now, whether it's protection from the lasers that they like to shine in the different eyes of law enforcement agents, or the ability to know what they're doing as soon as they're on the move, we've outlined a list of gear that we're going to try to procure in order to best provide security for the walkaway, for the people going to walkaway, for all the walkaway campaign people themselves, for the people attending these events, and of course for future events. When you click the links below that I'm putting down in the description box, you can see a basic list of some of the gear or the types of gear that we're hoping to procure for this event. Now, in the future, we're probably going to put a wish list up on our website. I've seen other people do that where they have an Amazon wish list or something. And if it makes you feel more comfortable to contribute by buying some of that gear and sending it to an address that we'll list, if that makes you feel better, that's great. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. We just want to find whatever we can to make sure our guys and girls are well equipped. Now, we're also going to post a financial transparency page on our website when it's up so that anyone who donates to our organization can see for themselves that all the money they donate, it's going to the cause that it was intended for. We're also going to have operators traveling from all around the country. And so another thing we're trying to raise money for is to fund some of their travel expenses. A lot of these guys and gals have stepped up and offered to pay their own way, but we're already asking them to step directly into the line of fire. So just as one of the founders of this group, one of my goals, I don't want them to have to pay too much out of pocket to put themselves in harm's way, which is one of the main reasons that we're doing these crowdfunding campaigns. These men and women They've already spent their lives putting their lives on the line, whether it be veterans, military veterans, or law enforcement veterans. And now they're doing it again, just because, like many of us, we can't bear to watch what's been going on for these last couple of months anymore. Now, it would be a tactical mistake for me to tell you exactly what our numbers are, but I can tell you this. An ODA, an Operational Detachment Alpha of 12 Green Berets, this is the teams that Green Berets operate in, that ODA is trained to be able to take down an entire country or shut down an entire counterinsurgency if they have the proper support. And we have many more people than an ODA. Along with Green Berets, we have veterans from every branch of the military. We have each military's respective special operations units represented. We have people from many of our federal and local law enforcement agencies and several of our intelligence agencies. Now, another thing that's going to cost an awful lot of money is lodging for all these missions, especially DC. But that money is going towards much more than just a bed to lay down in after these guys and gals are finished with their shifts trying to keep the subversives at bay. It's going towards peace of mind. It's going towards peace of mind knowing that once again, as Americans, each of us will be able to assemble peacefully and not have to worry about being intimidated for merely expressing your right to freedom of speech, your freedom of religion, or the ability to express your political affiliation or what political candidate you would like to support. So again, I want to thank each of you who've already reached out to pledge your support. And thank you in advance for those of you who see this video or seeing this stuff I'm putting out on social media and decide to click the links to our crowdfunding campaigns, which I'm going to put below in the description box. And that's helping us drive forward with our mission. Now, I'd like to close with a saying that was printed on my old battalion's challenge coins. It's adapted from Isaiah 6, Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. And I feel it really exemplifies First Amendment Praetorian. It exemplifies these crazy times that we live in. And it certainly emphasizes the reason that we feel it's our duty to stand up and draw our line in the sand. And it goes, "But who will go? Send me. If not me, then who? If not now, then when?" Thank you for listening, Patriots. Have a nice day, and please contribute to our crowdfunding campaign down below in the description box so that we can get going on buying our gear, equipping our men and women, helping them with their travel, getting out to DC, and ensuring that our fellow Americans are protected from intimidation, from violence, and are able to express their First Amendment protected rights. Deo et Patria, for God and country.